All right, good day. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be finishing up installing OBS, getting that to launch with an icon. Right now, I have the terminal up for a reason. We'll get to that in just a moment. So we're going to get OBS working, and then we're going to go ahead and get Audacity working. And after that, well, in there somewhere, what we'll be doing is we will actually be getting rid of that low voltage warning. We'll start getting things set up properly. Today, I decided to hook the Raspberry Pi 3 up to one of my monitors here. So that way I can actually see things a little bit better, and hopefully you can too. So with that being said, let's dive into it. I'm going to show you a few things here before we go too far. So right here, I made an obs.sh file, and all I did was went to terminal and I did this command, cd home pi desktop. And that was great. And then next thing I wanted to do was to create this file. So I just went nano OBS. And then I wanted to set the permissions for it to be able to launch it. And that's all I had to do was this command here. And in my file here, I'm just going to open up with a text editor here. And I just have my little bash script here. And that's the one that we use to launch it. Now, the only thing about this method here is when I go to launch it, I get this text file, obs.sh seems to be an executable script. What do you want to do with it? Now, I know there has to be an easier way to get rid of that warning and just execute it. I'm not too sure what it is. I'll play around with some stuff. But for now, we're going to try something I haven't done before, but I haven't had a reason to, and that's creating a custom desktop launcher for OBS. Hopefully this works. I'm not too sure if it will. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is go to our preferences here. So I'm just going to cancel this. I know OBS does launch properly. So let's close this out. After we get OBS taken care of, we'll get rid of the warning. We'll kind of set things up. And so I'm going to go to preferences, and this main menu editor, we're going to click on that. Right, and we're going to go to sound and video right here, and we have OBS here. And what I want to do, well, can we go to properties here? So right here in this command here, if I take this, maybe we can launch it with that script. So if we go like that, it's not going to allow us. Maybe we can go like this. And then launch in terminal. Click on OK. Maybe we can use that SH file here. So now if I go to my sound and video here, let's go to OBS. And Okay, so it's gonna launch it. I didn't want that to happen. I don't want the SH file to be visible. I just want it to launch. So we'll close that. Go to properties again. Let's go like that. Let's try that now. And we're gonna go to sound and video. Okay, so we got that working. Okay, so we just had to use our obs.sh file. So what I'm going to do is I am going to cut that, and we're going to put that in to our home folder here under Pi, and then we're just going to go to properties, and we should be able to just delete those. That should come up here. Yeah, there it is there. Okay. Click OK. Okay. Close that. And now we should be able to launch OBS without any issues. No. Why did it not work now? Did I do that wrong? We'll try that again. Go to properties. Oh, okay, so it's user bin OBS. And we don't want that. We want documents. No, home. And obs.sh. Okay. Click OK. Okay. Now we should be able to launch it. Perfect. Okay, so we edited the launcher file there to launch our custom script with the command we needed to properly launch OBS. On my Raspberry Pi 4, I do not need that. Just using Pi apps to install it works absolutely fine. So I'm not sure where the disconnect is. Must be with that one driver. It is trying to load. This is just bypassing that. So we've got that working now. And then we should be able to look so much better on here, doesn't it? Yeah, so CPU idle. Yeah, that's completely normal. Okay. So now I'm done with that. OBS is working now. We'll tweak it and play with it after, but for right now, we just want to get the other stuff kind of taken care of. So the first thing I'm thinking about doing is, let's get rid of that low voltage warning. So the first thing that we're going to do is going to open up the config.txt file. So let's just paste that. Oh, a little too much there. And then we're just going to scroll down to the bottom here. Okay, that all looks fine. And then we want to add a void warnings equals 1. And then we want to come up over here, delete that, and we want to overclock this to 13. Oh. Let's go to 1350, hit enter. What else do we want? I'm gonna have to do the over voltage to 4. I'm not sure if I'll overclock the RAM. Let's see. I'm just gonna copy and paste this here. So this is what I usually do. I do believe I overclocked the RAM before. I still don't trust this fan setup I have here, so we're just going to kind of keep it just the CPU that's getting the extra work. And we will install free RAM if I haven't done that already. So Control X, Y, enter. And now we can exit this. I'm not going to reboot quite yet. We're going to go to panel. Then we're going to go to add. We're going to go CPU temperature, CPU usage, and resource monitor down here. We're going to go ahead and add that. And so we're going to just put this all the way up. This will be the first one. So all the other ones are going to go in front of that. There. And something like that. And we want to go to the preferences here. We want to display the RAM, get rid of the CPU, and CPU usage monitor. We want to go to preferences and show this as a percentage. And then there we go. Close that out. And then empty my wastebasket. And we're just gonna reboot here. And we should come back here in a moment. I think it was a little much fighting with that little 7-inch touchscreen right off the bat without having everything all set up. This is all kind of a part of that process of kind of learning and seeing what is working, what isn't working, and what kind of workarounds we can do to get things working the way we want it to. I do have a US. I think what we'll do, I'm not going to use my main microphone on here. I think we'll use a headset and we'll see if we can get that to sound okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'll do yet. There's a few things I want to check out, so. And then the only other thing I have to do here is going to be changing my wallpaper. I'm just going to do a complete black one. I don't even have a logo or anything I can put on there of my own, which I should probably do one day. Should be. Oh, you know what I did? So let me just go. Totally what I did. All right. It'll come back up here in a minute. I totally had the input on my Pi set to a different source. So every time you reboot, if you don't have an HDMI cable plugged into a monitor or something, it won't boot up properly to the desktop. But if you have a touchscreen LCD and you're just not powering it, but the HDMI cable's in it, it'll still bring it back. All right, there we go. Should be back up, and we still have that low voltage, so we just need to remove that LX plug. All right, so let's open up terminal here. We'll just go sudo apt remove the LX plug -pt bat. And eventually this should just disappear on its own. But we can reboot, but I won't do that if it goes away here shortly. Then now that I've done that, I just want to double check that OBS is still working. I'm always going to be leery now of what breaks OBS. All right, so OBS is working. Let's go file, exit. I'm going to go to preferences here. And no image. Black. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's try to find waterfall look like. Pretty cool. You would think they'd actually have more Raspberry Pi themed wallpapers, because, you know, really we want to show off our Raspberry Pi, so having the logo definitely the cooler thing to do than having a waterfall, in my opinion. You might like waterfalls more than a picture of a Raspberry Pi logo. That's up to you. But I prefer to have that. So, and we could just even take our properties here and just give it just a hint of gray. Then that will kind of bump that color up and make it look a little bit cooler. Go. I'm gonna reboot since I have my screen up. So tonight it won't be a long stream. Basically what I think I'll do is I'll get everything just kind of set up, and on Thursday we will do the whole stream on the Raspberry Pi 3B Plus. I'll hook up my microphone to it. I'll get everything set up. But that being said, I'm still trying to get all my stuff for the stream here working better. you know, I do notice the audio is still a bit off. I'm sorry for that. Unfortunately, it's going to happen. I just don't have the time, but eventually I'll get things all tweaked and figured out. I just still pretty new to it, so I haven't had the time to play with things as much as I'd like to. All right, so we're back up and running here. It's going to pop up. There it is. All right, so now we are not getting any low power warnings. Perfect. That's what we want. Or under voltage, I should say. So now we want to go. What? I really don't need this stuff installed, so I will be removing stuff. But for now, let's go to Pi Apps. Now that we have that running, we do want that free memory, get that swap file going. Sure, update. But what we'll do is we will, what will we do? Yeah, get the free, the Z swap taken care of. Then we'll get Audacity set up here. Okay, and then we'll go down to what was it? Or was it more RAM or yeah, more RAM? And install that. Okay. All right, now we'll wait for that to pop back up here. Should be here in just a moment. There we go. And then I don't know if I want to, what, like, is there a difference from installing simple utility to make, okay, easy. I don't know if this is the one I want or if I should just apt get it or apt install it. Now, you know what? Let's just try it. I haven't tried it through here yet, so we will see what version it is and what's going on with it there. Well, I think it's just pulling it from the apt-get, but I could be wrong. I don't see it downloading from anywhere else, so unless it's already pre-downloaded into their little program there. All right, so sound and video, Audacity. Go ahead and close this out. Two point 2.2. Okay. So there we go. That is not bad. So this is probably working. I don't have a microphone plugged into it right at the moment. Yeah, okay, so that worked. I'm getting through these things a lot quicker than I thought I would be, so that's not bad. All right, so we've got that. What I'm going to do tomorrow night is I'm going to, instead of doing a stream, what I'm going to be doing is another project, which I'll be uploading to YouTube. So make sure to head over there to check out the video that's going to be coming out. Not tomorrow, but the next day. Yeah. So on Thursday morning, I'll have the new project uploaded to YouTube. And then on Thursday night, what we'll do is we will run the stream completely on the Raspberry Pi 3B Plus. And we'll see how that goes. I'll try running the dual cameras and we'll have to swap between them. I may try to hook up my macro keyboard so I can swap between each of the cameras by pressing the buttons. So that board that I had made, we'll probably use that just so it's a little bit less. And what else will we do? I'll have that. Maybe we'll use, I got so many microphones and things, I don't know which one I want to use, but I do want to use a headset for monitoring and that, so we will probably throw that in there, but we won't be able to do anything else on the Raspberry Pi. We will, however, be able to, so if I was to go, so if I went start video, then we are going to want to go to recommended software here for a moment. And where is it? Come on, hurry up. So once this is actually fully updated here, we will do another apt-get or apt update and upgrade. We'll do the full upgrade. We'll do the Raspberry Pi EEPROM. I noticed on the Pi 4 there was a new update, so I wonder if they pushed that to Buster as well. but we'll definitely look into that and see if there is. So the one I want is VNC Viewer. I want to apply that. Now we're going to be running the Raspberry Pi pretty extensively. I don't know if this will work. If we can do it where we can control the stream from just one Pi, but be able to do work on another said computer or another Raspberry Pi. That would be kind of cool. The only thing is my capture card that I have does not want to output the Raspberry Pi display properly. So I do think I need to get a different capture card at some point to see if I can actually get that to work. Well, thank you, friends. 1224 for the follow. Greatly appreciated. I don't know if you're watching, but thank you. All right, so we've got VNC Viewer installed now. And I'll go through a lot of the settings in that when we go to stream, because I should be able to stream the desktop here and be able to get that going. So I don't think I need anything else here. Close that out. And then I want... Where is it? We want VNC Viewer. And... Oh, what's an IP address of my Pi? Well, that's good to hear. Raspberry Pis are amazing. I absolutely love them. They're not hard. You can start simple by just tinkering. It's pretty easy to get into, and then just build your projects up and up. And today what I'm doing is I'm using a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus, like the one on the wall there, my massive one on the wall right there. And we're making it a Twitch streaming and an audio for audio production with Audacity. So with those two things, we should be able to create a whole bunch of cool projects with the Pi 3B Plus. Since right now with the prices of the Pi 4s being as expensive as they are, and you know, you could easily port all your projects from the 3B Plus onto the Pi 02W, just because it's basically the same thing. So if you wanted a smaller form factor, you could upgrade to that. So I absolutely love the Raspberry Pi. I love my Arduinos and stuff like that too, but I got Raspberry Pis all over my desk, so it's the first thing I sit down to and start tinkering with. So I'm glad you stopped by. That's awesome. If you have any questions, just feel free to toss them out there, and I'll see what I can do to help you out. But I need to find out right this second. 132. Connect to that one. So if I go 192.168, 100.132, I should be able to connect to my main Raspberry Pi. And we're just going to go to continue, and so there we go. We have we're on the Raspberry Pi 3 connected to a Raspberry Pi 4. as you can see, my Pi 4 is running at 3839, and it's really not doing too much. It only has Chromium running at the moment here. But what we want to do is let's run oh, we got to do something here. So we have something a little prettier on the screen. I don't know. We'll just go here. So I was going to do more tonight on the Wine Pi, getting actual PC games working on the Raspberry Pi. I do have some games working and some applications. I am working on getting Repetier Host working, so that way I can basically do all my that between that and SketchUp, trying to get those two to work. Then I wouldn't need an actual PC anymore, because I'd be able to design my models and then be able to slice them and then throw them onto the Octoprint, which is another Raspberry Pi running Octoprint, and be able to print it all without having to use an actual PC, keeping the voltage and power consumption down to a minimum, because really in this day and age everything's going up in price. Why not save $1 or $2? Okay, so that's up there. So we're going to come over to OBS, and I am sorry if you're talking. I had to I've been doing this for quite a few years now, so I'm still learning. There's lots I don't know. I have cheat sheets for certain codes and to be able to run certain scripts, things like that. Yeah, it's learning. It's fun. I think everyone should have at least one Raspberry Pi in their house. I think a lot of Raspberry Pi users would agree as well. So that being said, do you have one? Do you have a Raspberry Pi that you use? And if so, what kind of projects have you done with it so far? And I am going to actually just pop this back over. Oh no, I'm going to no Raspberry Pi. Well, when I get up to once I actually get more people on the stream. Oh really? You didn't know the Raspberry Pi existed? So yesterday was actually the 10th birthday for Raspberry Pi. It was a pretty big day. It was really fun seeing all the people over the last 10 years, all the projects they've done. Yeah, absolutely amazing, the things that have been done from the original Pi, which I might have one here. Of course I do. So this here is the original Raspberry Pi. It has a hat on it now, a click shield hat on it, but it just outputted video through an RCA cable. But you could use HDMI as well, but that was basically when everyone didn't always have an HDMI available. So you got to think back 10 years, right? So they are amazing units. If you can find them for cheap, check your local market places. If you're on like Facebook or something like that, you can probably pick up one for cheap. Anything like eBay and everything is all overpriced now, so yeah, see if there's a local Pi dealer near you as well. And if you want to play video games, you could make your own little arcade machine. It does so much. You can program on it. all sorts of stuff, right? Make your own games, make your own software, display, whatever, like all sorts of signage. You have the GPIO there, so you can hook up other things too as well. And yeah, I started making custom boards and hats for the Raspberry Pi, just to teach people how to use it. And I used the Raspberry Pi to create the custom hat. I think I have it here. So this was one of the first Raspberry Pi hats that I made, and it's just a bunch of LEDs on there, and you could program each one to do whatever you wanted. And all I used was a program called Fritzing. A lot of guys will use KiCad, but I prefer Fritzing on the Raspberry Pi. Well, I'm glad that you're getting into it, and maybe, yeah, like oh, there's, yeah. If you can get your hands on one, do it, because it's so low powered. I have a little battery bank with a solar panel on it. When I'm out camping, stuff like that, I'll actually set it up as like a wildlife camera, all sorts of things, right? So you can do so much with it. You could even set it up to be, you know, a sensory alarm. So if someone comes near your tent, it'll, you know, go off, things like that, right? So there's always something you can do with it. And, you know, I will be doing a lot of projects. If you haven't checked out my YouTube channel, make sure to check that out. Lots of Raspberry Pi content on there. And I even have a build video of this guy on the wall. Yeah, on there as well. And let me just I want to get this desktop added here. So sources, let's go to add, and we should be able to go to window capture, create new, and we're gonna call it VNC. And hopefully this works, because that would be nice. Okay, okay, oh, look at that. Okay, so now all I'm gonna do is transform, and then should be able to fit to screen. That'll bump that down a little bit. Now, so to run the Raspberry Pi 4, I think for a whole year in Canada, I think I did my study on it. I ran the Raspberry Pi for a year to see how much it would cost power-wise. So I have a video on that as well. But I think it cost me like $12 Canadian for the whole year to run the Raspberry Pi. Whereas my main PC, it probably ate that $12 in one day, right? Like it just, yeah, it's night and day. And I used the Pi for, well, I started with the Pi 3, and then the Pi 4 came out, so I got that, and then I slowly upgraded. And yeah, it's been amazing using something that is so low powered. And I figured I had one guy on here that wanted to be able to stream a bird's nest from a Raspberry Pi. So that's why we're setting up the OBS and everything on the Raspberry Pi 3. Plus, I want to use it for a bunch of new projects that I got on the works. So with OBS, so I think originally the Raspberry Pi was $35 US. I don't know what is, I don't even know what they're going for now. Let me just go to my local Raspberry Pi shop website here, and I'll have a quick look. Go to right now. A lot of the Raspberry Pi stuff, though, you can only get like a Pi 4 8GB. You could probably only buy it in an actual kit with the power supply and all the other nonsense that you don't really need. So let's go to Pi. So a Raspberry Pi 2.0 W. So it's going to be a really small board. Is about $18.95 Canadian. So I don't know what your dollar is. It is equal to the rupa. I don't know. It says something like 214,000 rupa. I don't know. Is that right? I might be wrong. I don't know the conversion. If that was just Google telling me. And so the Raspberry Pi 2 or 02W has the same power as the Raspberry Pi 3B Plus, right? It's got the same speeds, everything. So you'd be able to do the same thing on that as you would on this one. But that being said, go to legacy boards. So a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus on their site is, you know, $47.95. So go. So that just over 541,000 rupa. Yeah, no, it's they're really low cost computers. But right now with the chip shortage, they're starting to go up in price a lot of places. So you have to just find some really good deals on them. And basically your imagination is the limitation of the Raspberry Pi. You know, if you want to do hardware stuff, like I built an automated plant growing system. I've done so much stuff with it that countless projects. There's always something, and there's a huge community, probably the biggest community I've seen when it comes to single board computers anyways. So okay, so I've got that working. Okay, I'm happy that's working because I want it to be able to stream off of the Raspberry Pi 3B Plus onto the Raspberry Pi 4 when I go to work on it on Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that way my main computer won't be on. It'll just be two 5-volt Raspberry Pis running, so next to no power. But I will have to run an Ethernet cable to the 3B Plus just because I think there's going to be some limitations when it comes to the Wi-Fi and the speeds to be able to stream properly. So I will have to check in that, and I'll probably have to dump the stream down to a 720p stream. So we'll do that. Yeah, what else? Yeah, if you have any ideas of project, like, wish I had, you know what, I'll have to wait until I get more people on, but if I can get up to like 50 followers, I'll give away a Raspberry Pi 3 B plus, and I'll, yeah, with SD card, power supply, and everything to get someone going. I do believe I even have a Raspberry Pi starter kit around here somewhere. Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, so I could even give that away, but not till later on. So yeah, just keep following until then. At least maybe you can win one, and I can get that sent to whoever wins it. So hopefully you, but you never know. I won't make it a skill testing question or anything like that. Try one of those fancy bots that everyone uses, which I think are all rigged, but you know, we'll find out. If you win, it might be rigged though, right? So whereabouts in Indonesia are you? Well, I'm still learning this stuff. I work my shift and come home, have something to eat, and then I jump on here and play with Raspberry Pis. So hopefully soon. Always trying to make the stream better, but you know, Jawa. I probably said that. Timur, Jawa, Timur. Oh, nice. See here. So I did find on Facebook, actually, there is some people with some Raspberry Pis, if you search the marketplace, that are going to be hopefully in your area. Yeah, one in Sidora Geo, or I don't know. I honestly can't say it. But yeah, there's a few guys on there with Raspberry Pi stuffs available. I see Raspberry Pi 3B, which what do they want? They want too much for it though. They want 45 or 450,000 for it. So what did we say that a new one would be of a 3B plus? Yeah, so I would probably say, if I was to offer, I would offer them like 325 for it, kind of deal. I don't know how, if that's, yeah, I wouldn't go any higher than that though, not for a used one. But yeah, anyways, there's definitely options to get yourself a Raspberry Pi too. Okay. Yeah, I probably killed how yeah, I don't even want to know how badly I said that. I'm pretty sure it was pretty awful. Because I'm thinking English and not, yeah, completely different. Like when I was taking German in high school, it was you know, the way you read it in English versus how you read it in German is two different things. So the vowels and everything are so different. So anyways, I know I slayed that one like completely wrong. So okay, well, I'll take your word for it, but I won't be in the neighborhood anytime soon, so I won't have to make a fool of myself that way. Yeah, tonight all I was doing was basically just getting this Raspberry Pi set up. The last couple nights I've been playing around with it. Originally I had it set up with a 7-inch little touchscreen, but now I have it set up. All I'm going to be using is, so I created one of these guys here. So this is a macro keyboard that I designed in Fritzing as well. So this is what we'll use to control the Raspberry Pi, to switch the scenes on the Raspberry Pi, and I'll be able to use that instead of like my Stream Deck on my main PC, which is definitely more expensive than this. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I would even look and see if there's any like suppliers near you that might have Raspberry Pi stuff, because yeah, someone might have something there. So let's go to raspberrypi.org. See if they have. Do you have a Newark? Newark. I wonder if you have a Newark website. Go to their main site. See here, can I go? No, they don't. Darn it. Bugs me. I want to help you find a Raspberry Pi now. Oh well. I'm sure you'll come across one soon enough. So what I can do is I can show you the Raspberry Pi we are using. Close a bunch of stuff. Okay, and oh, I totally forgot. Why is that not working? Yeah, I was hoping that one of the big supply chains actually had like a warehouse there or somewhere near there. Do you have like a local, like even Amazon there that you can check out and see if there's anything on there? Or Where is... Okay, camera's on. You know, work. Oh, really? Well, that kind of sucks. Okay, we should have a camera on. Try this again. Hmm. Okay, my other camera's not working right now. Oh, I guess I could do this. I have the Raspberry. That's kind of weird. All right. So I'm just going to plug in a camera into the 3B Plus, and I'll just bring up the camera right here. We're gonna have to add one anyway, so add capture device, video capture device, and this is my Logitech C922, so we're gonna label that, and we're gonna go here. Come on. We're gonna select that, and we'll just go okay. No, I didn't like that. I didn't like that. Ah, probably gotta reboot it. Happens every time. All right, close that out. Yeah, we can close that out for now. We don't need that on. Reboot that guy. Really? Oh my god. So do you have like AliExpress or anything that you can get there, or gotta be something? I feel bad now. I take those two for granted because I use them all the time, right? I didn't even think that people don't have access to them. Yeah. Hmm. Well, that really sucks. Tokopedia, eh? What's that all about? I'm gonna look that up while we're rebooting. Oh, I totally forgot to switch my monitor over. That back running. All right, I gotta look this up. Probably not gonna be able to read. Oh, no, I did see Raspberry Pi stuff on here. It actually came up on Tokopedia. Oh wow, they want so much for the kids. $2.9 million? Really? 750 for Raspberry Pi 3? Wow. I guess because they have to import it, because so if you find anyone that says, so if you ever do buy a Raspberry Pi, oh no, I got a drawer full of them here. Sorry, like like Raspberry Pi hats and stuff. I do get a lot of them for free. So on a Raspberry Pi 3, on the back, usually on the box, I don't know if this will focus or not, but it'll say element14.com/Raspberry Pi. Here's the sticker. So make sure it is an actual manufacturer of the board, because there is knockoff boards out there. Like you could get, you know, this guy here, which is they call it an Orange Pi, and it's basically the same thing. They kind of like ripped off the Raspberry Pi. Yeah, it's kind of just this guy here. I don't use these because they actually use more power than the Raspberry Pi, and it really kind of sucks when you're trying to do a project. So how much would like, have you played with an Arduino at all? Have you done any programming on that, or is that just something you've looked at and thought, oh, that's too expensive? Because there is the knockoff boards too of the Arduinos, which are relatively cheap, right? Like, I think some of my Arduino boards I've paid like $5 for Canadian. But it's something that you would be interested in if you could get it, right? So do you like take apart broken electronics or anything like that, try to fix them, do anything like that, or what's your, do you want to do more the software or the hardware kind of thing? Okay. Yeah, because there is the, like I said, there is the knockoff boards, and they work just as well, right? I have a ton of them around here too. somewhere. I got boards everywhere. I'm not trying to rub that in by any means. I'm sorry, but it's there. Yeah. So there is an Arduino that is running this macro keyboard as well. So that's all that's doing there. You like to do hardware stuff? Okay. So if you like to do hardware stuff, like I said, a Raspberry Pi would be great because you can learn simple programming. There's so many programs out there that people have already made, and you just have to do the hardware aspect of everything, right? So, yeah, you'll learn little bits of programming as you go along, and you'll get to understand it fairly well, really quick. Yeah, so I do a lot in Python. I have a lot of my coding will be in Python when I can. I will use other ones as well. And I will use Arduino IDE at times too. Right now I have a project that I am doing with Arduino. It's not, I can't show it. I can't do any of that stuff. But that will be released on the Element 14 community at some point. So there will be a video on that, and it's going to be pretty cool. I'm quite stoked about it. So I like to take things that are really expensive to buy, like someone invented this really cool thing, and it's just really expensive, and who can afford that? So I like to make the do-it-yourself one nice and cheap, and for a fraction of the price. So that is just so much fun, and you learn a lot, right? And then you can see what they did and see if you can do it better. So yeah, there's lots of things like that that I love to do with our Arduinos and Raspberry Pis. Is just creating things is just so much fun. And then when I'm chilling and relaxing, I'll play with the operating system on the Pi, you know, do this stuff with people and share that. I even have I have on my YouTube channel as well. I have, so at the maker spaces that I have in my town, I actually taught a Raspberry Pi course there, which after doing that, I thought, why would I limit myself to just teaching that group of people? So what I did was I made a video on Raspberry Pi for beginners. I am going to do another one at some point, and we'll cover more of the boards and things like that. But it just basically goes into a breakdown, a couple simple projects, things like that, that are really cool to do and make it feel like, wow, I did something amazing. And honestly, you know, the little projects are probably just the best in the world because they're quick, and you get to see something new come from, you know, your Raspberry Pi. So that's really cool. But yeah, the streaming rig is going to be great. Oh yeah, I guess I got to get this running so I can show you what I am running it on. I'm rambling on here. All right, sorry about that. All right, let's go back to OBS here. Get that up. We should have a camera. Oh, is it still rebooting? Uh-oh. I think I might be in a little boot loop. All right, let's try that again. Yeah, that's insane. A 4 gigabyte Pi 4 What's the conversion on 2 point? I'm just going to say 2.9 million. I'm going to look at that. I want to see what the conversion is. This is going to be ridiculous. I'm probably going to be like 2.9 0. Oh, I think I have too many zeros here. Yeah, I gotta get rid of one. 256.92 Canadian for a 4 GB Raspberry Pi. No wonder you can't play with it. That's ridiculous. What's that? It's gonna be 200. Oh wow. Basically 202 US dollars. Oh, I was just trying to see what the Pi 4 4 GB was worth. Not even the highest end Pi 4 there is in your prices there, and that's ridiculous. Yeah, for some reason I think my Pi decided to reboot itself there. I do not have it in the appropriate power supply right now either, so we could be having some issues there. Oh, I did it again. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna unplug the fan, turn it back on. Fan might be drawing too much power. I only have it in a really bad USB outlet right now. That's definitely not enough power to run it. And I do have the Raspberry Pi overclocked at the moment here, so it's running at 1.35 gigahertz. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, it is. Like at my work too, right? You know, you can do something a million times in the workshop and nothing go wrong, but as soon as you got to go out on a service call and you got someone standing over your shoulder, of course you forget either to put something back on or you forget to do something, and yeah. Oh, 100%. If you're up all night and you have a paper due at first thing in the morning, your printer's not working. It's not. You forget it. It's not going to work. So I used to work for Rogers and Geek Squad back in the day. Like one was an internet service provider and the other was, well, Best Buy, Geek Squad. I don't know if you know what they are, but I would do technical support for them. And near the end of the school year, I think every other call was someone having an issue with their printer and they needed it done now. They would pay anything in the world to be able to print their documents before they had to go to school. So I had to help a lot of people get through school, I guess. So yeah, no, that's the way it goes. Yeah, I'm on the right. Okay, is it gonna work now? Gonna work? Okay. I think we got it this time. Let me just open this guy up. Oh, and it died again. It must be the camera. Let me unplug. Why would it do that? Okay, so I had a keyboard plugged in as well, so I'm just gonna unplug that. Okay. Oh yeah, 100% a universal problem. And it was always funny because we would help everyone across Canada, and between the one side of Canada and the other, there is a 4-hour difference. So it would be a non-stop train of people calling throughout the night and needing help. So no, that's definitely the way it is. If you want something printed and it's super important, it ain't happening. Good luck with that. You're either going to run out of ink and it's going to be too late to go and buy it, or you're going to have a network connectivity issue, or, you know, some driver issue, or it worked last month, or, you know. All right, let's see here. Sound and video. Okay, I'm going to unplug the camera for 1 second. Okay. So now I'm going to plug in just the camera. Oh, that's okay. I want to block that one. Okay, work. With camera 1. Okay. Aw. Okay, so it's glitching out. I think we're gonna have to as far as modify it, well, like, not sure about modifying the printer, because oh yeah, no, people do that, but there's, yeah, just so many people that don't know anything about technology, and you know, some of the printers, they'll have the lockout chip on it, so if you don't put in that company's brand and you don't know how to you know, trip the chip, you're not going to be able to use a refill in it, right? So they do that here, just not everyone is capable of doing it, right? So if you're going to be a doctor, you don't need to know how to work a printer. You need to, you know, know how to save a life. So I guess it's, you know, one or the other. All right, so, and I actually had, yeah, I actually had one doctor's office. They had a huge problem one night, and I guess someone wiped out all their. They just moved all their files to digital, and someone had wiped the main computer out. So that was a long night fixing that. Okay, so I'm gonna go Control Alt T, bring up my terminal. Okay, and then sudo nano boot config.txt. Oh, I think I might have done something here with my ARM frequency and everything, but no, it should be working. But I think what we'll do, we're just I'm gonna disable. You know what? Let's just disable this. We'll use the stock and see if it does it again. I don't think. I wonder if I should actually comment those out. So it is Pi 4 specific there. So let's try that. Worst case scenario, we have to plug it into a Windows computer and fix this file. So yes, enter, sudo reboot. Now we'll be going back down to the normal stock speeds, and I think it's like 800 megahertz for the Raspberry Pi 3. So it is a little bit slower than the 1350 we can achieve. So we'll see what happens. Okay, no worries. I will take a break too, so I'm just gonna have a water break. So I'll come back in about 2 or 3 minutes here. Right. So this guy working again. I'm gonna try this out here. Hmm. Right. Um. Well, that started happening as soon as I installed VNC. So let's remove uh, Raspberry Pi. That's not what I want. Raspberry Pi configuration. And let's go to No, that's not what I want. I want recommended software. Actually, there is one way we can test to see if it's the camera or the Raspberry Pi having an issue. What I will do is I will go here. We'll go to terminal again, and we're gonna just sudo apt install cheese. It's just a simple webcam kind of application, good for taking pictures, that kind of thing, but nothing too amazing, that's for sure, but good for testing to make sure your cameras are working. Oh, I guess I have a light on top of my camera too, eh? There, now you can actually see it. Okay, so now I'm going to go to sound and video, go to cheese. Now if it reboots off of this, then I know there's an issue with the camera causing that reboot. We'll see what happens here. Why is there an error? So maybe it is my camera. Try a different port. So another thing we could do is even do it through VLC media player. And we should be able to. So I'm just trying to see if it's the webcam that's causing the issue with it rebooting, or if it's actually the Raspberry Pi. So I'm just trying to launch the web camera in two different applications. One was that cheese that I just installed, and it didn't detect my camera, so I moved it to another USB port. And I'm gonna see if this program will actually pick it up. So everyone knows what VLC media player is, I hope. But it's a great tool because you can actually open a capture device, go to your camera, and it's usually video 1. Nope. Or that was under video 0. Let's try it under video 0. And it rebooted. So I think there's something wrong with the camera or a driver. So I'm gonna update the Raspberry Pi some more, see if there's something I'm missing, because that should not have happened. No, it really isn't. I finally got my top-down camera working there, so you can actually see the Raspberry Pi here. So I'll show you this other one here I have. So I have a Raspberry Pi 0, and just to show you, my Raspberry Pi 02s are all in my cluster right now, but oh, dropped it. So I just have it in this little case here right now. So this is the Raspberry Pi 0, and it is just basically half the size of the 3. So the new Raspberry Pi 2W is the same size as this, but it has the power of this. So that's kind of cool. This has the power of, I do believe, the Raspberry Pi 2. Yeah, it should be that. But what I usually do with this is I just have, this is my little Christmas tree hat that, or little thing I plug into the GPIO, and at Christmas time I'll let it run on my desktop. This actually came with a sensor kit I bought. So okay, so all right, we're updating now. All right, so for that I am going to move the chat over to my other monitor here because I don't need it right at the moment, so I can see what you're saying. There we go. Now I can actually see the writing again. And we'll go back over to this one. Go here. And sudo apt update. And sudo apt upgrade. Toss in a Y there. So it'll say yes to when it, and so we don't have to say yes to it. We just sit back, we watch that, let it do its thing. Yeah, when it comes to the Raspberry Pi, you definitely have to have some sort of patience and the want to learn and explore it. It's definitely, even for me that I've been using it for years, there's always something that goes wrong. So you just kind of got to play with it until you can get it right. So it is what it is. Okay, so there is an EEPROM update. So we're going to update a little bit more on here. So what do you do for fun besides dreaming about playing with Raspberry Pis and Arduinos now? Are you in school or anything like that, or? And now I'm just gonna sudo rpi update, and this is gonna update the firmware, and we'll get that going. We'll see if there's an update. You sleep, all right. Can't go wrong with that. I think the thing was, it was saying is around noon or 12 o'clock your time right now when I was looking at the site there. Or do you have different time zones and that thing was completely wrong? All right, let's go. Yes, we'll update that. Oh, nice. Who needs sleep? Come on. Yeah, right now where I am, it's 9:43 p.m. and on the other side of Canada, it's 4 hours ahead of me, so I'm up later than them. Oh, nice. So do you do you actually, are you doing your class online or do you go to an actual I know a lot of places around here started going more online with their teaching, right? So with this whole silly nonsense going around with COVID. Well, it's not silly, but it is, but it isn't. I'm okay with it. Oh, nice. So you just got to make sure you show up. Nice. How long is that kind of a course? Yeah, I think that's everywhere is just getting slammed with the new variant. It sucks. I work in during the daytime when I'm not, you know, when I'm actually doing my real job. I work for a medical supply company, and we deal with a lot of facilities with old people and people that are at high risk. And so when I'm not at work, I usually am. I don't ever want to put them at risk. So the least amount of time I can spend with other people, the better, because the chances of me getting something is that much less. Because I don't want to give. I couldn't imagine taking something into a facility and, you know, hurting a bunch of people or killing them potentially, right? So, all right, let's go sudo reboot. Let that do its thing. But I believe in science, and I think our scientists all over the world are working hard to make things better. And really, it's I think people don't realize how big of a task it really is. So, um, Oh, really? Yeah. Do you have lots of people that wear masks, or is that I know there's some places even like I was watching the Super Bowl there, and all the people in the stands were not wearing masks, and they were so unless you were, you know, the players on the field, everyone else was at risk, right? Oh, really? Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I had a few people that I was pretty close to in the facilities that actually passed away because of it as well, and it's too bad. You wouldn't want that to be the way you go after 80 something years, right? And that's the thing. Those that use the mask are protecting them, but they're not protecting you, right? And that's what really sucks. If everyone just followed the simple rules and was kind to their neighbor, we wouldn't have as many issues as we do have. Um, all right, so my screen did boot up properly, but in the wrong resolution. So I'm going to try this again. Looks like we're in the old 7-inch screen display output. True enough. True enough. Okay. So now do I try the camera? Hopefully it was just a firmware issue. I had it going before, so I don't know why it's not working now. Okay, so we're gonna go here. We're gonna double click this. Make sure that is on video. Oh, I hear the fans just screaming right now at me. Can't read this. No, I think we rebooted again. I'm just gonna. Okay, so the webcam's not working. I do have a microscope that I can plug into it. But why are we not getting... Okay, let's reboot that one more time here. No, I don't think it's because you're looking at it, but there's always little quirky bugs and things, right? So it's gonna happen. There we go. Now we get the proper resolution back here. So all I have is one of these really cheap USB microscopes. So we'll try this out. I think the lights work half the time on it. Bought it for checking solder joints and stuff like that. All right, let's go here. Yeah, if I can't get a camera on, it's gonna be a pretty boring stream on Thursday. But I wonder if it has to do with that. All right, let's try this one. Okay, and then we'll just point that down there. We're gonna add a new source and capture device and label it. I think I might have to overclock it again because this is pretty sluggish right now. There it is, USB 2.0 camera. Those. I'm not even getting any power off of this. I wonder what's going on there. I know what we can do to test that though. Oops. Oh, where did it go? Right in front of me. All right. Yeah, probably will. It's usually the way that whole scenario with the printers again, right? So I have a couple of different devices here. So I have one of these guys. These are just quick power test on the USB port. So I don't know if you can, might have to turn the light off so you can see that. I don't think you can see that at all. There is a little green light in there. And it is doing something. So green is port is okay. And I just want to make sure all my ports are green. And then what I'll do is okay, so those are all green, so those are good. Now I have one of these silly guys here, so we can actually test it more in depth. So let's plug that guy in. And and now we can see the actual voltage on it and the output of the amperage. So what I'm going to do is just plug in, we'll do, I guess it doesn't matter which one, they're both going to reboot the machine. Plug that in here. I just want to kind of keep an eye on that. Okay. Yeah, exactly. It just lets you know that it is live. This one here, and then I'd bought a kit with a bunch of little testers in it to test circuit, like, yeah, different power circuits, and it was in the kit. I already had this one, so I didn't really need it, but hey, more tools are better. Okay, so I'm going to, this is where we're going to have to watch what happens. I'm going to turn off the microscope, and I'm going to turn on this one. Still doesn't want to work. Okay, open that up. It's on the right one. Okay. Cancel that. Go to cheese again. And it'll probably give us an error. No, I think we got to reboot it and have the camera plugged in while it does its thing. So yeah, the kit I bought came with one of these pens here. Basically, this will just tell you if a circuit is live or not, or has power to it. Good for your outlets, or if you're going to be changing a light fixture or anything like that. And then one of these silly guys here, and that just lets you know that your wiring is all good on your plugins. And what I was doing was I had to replace a bunch of the receptacles in my house. And what I would do was I would take one of these, this guy here, and I would plug it into the outlet. So when I would go to hit the breaker on the panel, right up here, I have a web camera. And basically what I would do is have that aimed at the outlet, and then I'd be able to use my phone to be able to see if that the lights changed or turned off or anything like that. So I didn't need to have someone yelling down to me like, yep, you got it, you know, that kind of a thing. I could do it all myself, and I didn't have to worry about it. Yeah, so all right, let's try this again here. We're gonna go to cheese this time again, just because it, yeah, it might or might not launch. Just taking a look at the, but I'm getting nothing on the output though. what if we go to VLC again? There's got to be a reason for it. And video camera, and then we'll go to 0, go to play. Oh, I totally missed if anything happened on here. Huh. But yeah, I did it again. I don't know if you can clip that cutting out or not. But you got to get going here soon, eh? You got your class here coming up in what, half an hour? Um, I'm gonna turn. I know it's not that script now. So I'm gonna go here and turn all this stuff back on. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it was this, because those were enabled. I wonder if I needed those on. Okay, let's try that. Control X, yes, enter, sudo reboot. Maybe it was my fault the whole time. So how long have you been doing your course? Like, how long do you have left until you graduate or get certified or? Okay, so now let's go. Okay, I'm at a loss for words why this is not working. Wonder if it is just a power issue at this point. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to the camera worked before I installed VNC viewer. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm actually gonna remove that now. Here. Yeah, honestly, it probably is. I'll get up tomorrow morning. I'll turn it on. I'll probably try it then, and it'll work like nothing. But then I'll leave it on all day because working. We'll leave it working. I just think, yeah, it has to be something I installed because I did have the camera working. All right, so we're just going to scroll down to the bottom. I don't need that. I don't need that. What else don't I need? Oh, camera died. Having all sorts of fun tonight with things not working. Well, actually, it happens every night. Just if you get upset about it or not, really. All right. Rid of that guy. Okay, I'm going to try this, and if this doesn't work, then I'm just going to call it a night because, yeah, you got to go and do your stuff, and I got to go do my stuff and go to bed soon, so, yeah, we'll just try this, and if not, we'll, if it doesn't work, we'll just try again tomorrow. I might try plugging that into my RAS pad. So I have my Raspberry Pi tablet here. And all I have to do is just pop out the SD card from this one and pull the one out of there, try it out on here. The only thing is this is a Pi 4 that's in here. So I don't want to use that. I want to use the lower powered unit. So let's give this a quick reboot and we'll give it a try, and then I will be probably signing off because it won't work. I don't know. What do you think? Is it going to work or not? So, yeah, so this tablet here is by a company called Sunfounder. It's called the RasPad 3. And yeah, you can quickly, you have access to the GPIO ports through a ribbon cable that you can poke out the back here. And then you have all your regular stuff on here, full size HDMI, your USB 3, and it's all battery pack and all sorts of fun in here. The only thing I don't like about this is when I stream on this, it's it gets to about 70 degrees Celsius, which is way too hot. So that's why I want to stream off of the 3B Plus there, because it's going to be a lot yeah, a lot nicer not getting it that hot. Like 41, 42 degrees Celsius works for me. All right, welcome to the stream there, Giga. I don't know how you want to say that, but yeah. Yeah, we're just testing this as the final last straw here. Hopefully it works. If not, we'll come back tomorrow and play around with it some more, and I'll try it on the RasPad and a few other things. So let's go here. It's probably not liking being in there as well on that. Let's go to capture device. 0. Anything important here? No. Need a button to want. Guess what happened? Yep, that's what happened. Didn't work. It kicked out again. So we're gonna try again tomorrow night. I'll try booting it up first thing in the morning. It might just be Fran's fault. Just because Franz was watching, it seemed as, yeah. And if it was, there's no pie for you, Franz. If it works in the morning, no pie for you. Doesn't work, then I'll be back tomorrow night and we'll test it out with a bunch of different scenarios. I know, right? It was supposed to work. Do believe, yeah, that's a 3V plus. All right. Anyways, it was working when I started the stream, but then I added VNC viewer to it because I wanted to be able to stream my main Raspberry Pi desktop because I want to get more Windows computer games working on there. Right? Thank you, Franz. I appreciate you bringing it to a whole new level. Make sure you watch as many streamers as you can in the next 15 minutes. And anyways, that is going to do it for me tonight, guys. Thank you for popping by. I really appreciate you guys checking the stream out. And tomorrow we'll be doing more, but I don't know when I'll be on. Okay. Gig like fig, axe like chopping tree. So is that like an axe, like a guitar? And be like a concert guitar? Gig axe? No? Okay. Well, I thought I'd try. I can grab my guitar and we can... No, not into that. I got a harmonica too. We can do that. Just the name. All right, fair enough. All right. Have a great night, guys. Thanks for watching. I will be back tomorrow night at some point, but Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, if you want to learn more Raspberry Pi stuff, check out the YouTube channel. Tons of stuff on there. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Take care, eh?